Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good, Laura. How are you?
I'm pretty all right too. So, this journey has brought up some interesting challenges for us. Interesting and unexpected, although this time around you wouldn't. Unexpected. We might need to go into the living room. The internet's a little bit sketchy here. If that happens again, we'll go into another space. Wow, moving daily doses. Won't that be exciting? Anyway.
I might need to lie down.
In February, when we launched the series, the third week in is a super emotional piece of the journey. And I was stunned at how quickly I fell back into the emotions that I had been feeling, holding, and thought I had let go of, but was clearly still harboring in our lives. It was really, really incredible. Mother says we should move. So we're gonna walk. This is gonna be a little bit funny. We won't try to catalog this. You bring the tea, Dr. Mary.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll be in the... Okay, hopefully this will be better. Again, it's all an ongoing process. Okay, is that better? Bonnie, this would be a great time for you to respond. Okay, I'm going to assume that it's better. Anyway, I had anger. I had real anger over where this relationship had been, and I thought I had worked through it, and I clearly hadn't. And it showed up again. Well, there has been kind of a little bit of a resurgence of that. And anger makes Dr. Mary a little bit uncomfortable because, well, I mean, anger makes a lot of people uncomfortable, to be fair.
Oh, sitting here.
And so, yeah, this is going to be quite something. So we had a long conversation yesterday on a dog walk that was a little bit difficult. Mm-hmm. And what we settled on is the notion that we live as human beings with complex non-binary emotions. And what I mean by that is you can be both happy and sad. You can be both grateful and resentful. You can be both successful and feel like a failure. That's just the complexity of being a human being. So we're being honest about that, and we are going to talk about that a little bit together today. But the big reason that I give you that whole introduction is because then after we got back from the dog walk and we'd had this big conversation, then I'm rereading this fabulous book called Still Writing: The Perils and Pleasures of a Creative Life by a woman named Dani Shapiro. I checked it out before COVID. It's the last book from the library. I have to get back to them. It's like my third reading of it because it's such a beautiful book. I'm going to buy it now. But this was the paragraph that I literally started reading after we had this conversation. It's from page 212 if you're interested. If we are immersed in the work of finding expression for this life, if we wake up each morning to the possibility of discovery, not only will we have a better shot at getting something worthwhile on the page, we will simply be better. Too often, our capacity for awe is buried beneath layers of perfectly reasonable excuses. We feel we must protect ourselves from hurt, disappointment, insult, loss, grief, like warriors girding for battle. A Sabbath prayer that I have carried with me for more than half my life begins like this. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. We cannot afford to walk sightless among miracles, nor can we protect ourselves from suffering. We do work that thrusts us into the pulsing heart of this world, whether or not we're in the mood, whether or not it's difficult or painful, or we'd prefer to avert our eyes. When I think of the wisest people I know, they share one defining trait: curiosity. They turn away from the minutia of their lives and focus on the world around them. They are motivated by a desire to explore the unfamiliar. They are drawn toward what they don't understand. So I came in from reading that and immediately shared it with Dr. Mary because I think there's so much value and so much truth to how we are trying to work through this. It is complex.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell you, and then I'll stop talking and you can talk. I can tell you that, you know, this has been the most joyful period of my life, these 3+ years of Maz's sobriety. I have learned things and discovered things and experienced things that I never, ever could have even imagined, much less dreamed of. And I feel nothing but joy and gratitude for where I'm at. And I'm still angry about where we were. I'm angry that Maz became an alcoholic. And I'm angry that my child's last years at home were part of that. And that I allowed it to happen in my life and in Quinn's life. And that I sat with it for so long. And I'm angry about all of that. But I can also tell you this. I can tell you this. I would not appreciate what I have now the way that I do had I not gone through, had we not gone through the other piece of it. And that is living with complex emotions. And that is where I'm at. So how about you?
There is, I mean, you're absolutely right. There is I suppose you can call it a duality of it. I mean, they've written books on it. In fact, there is a book called The Duality of Man. I mean,
I prefer duality of person.
Well,
but
yeah, it was written in the 30s, so.
Anyway.
I mean, even Abraham Lincoln said, you know, there were two sides to every human being. You have a good side and a bad side. You regret things you do. You regret things you did, and even though you knew there was a choice and you didn't take it. I mean, you know, literature is replete with examples, like Robert Frost, I guess, is another one. But I regret a lot of things. I regret, although it's easy to say, oh, I was powerless against alcohol. It sounds like a cop-out, but it wasn't really. I knew there was something wrong with me. I knew I was unhappy. I didn't do anything about it because at the time it was just too damn hard and I didn't care enough. I regret that because of the knockdown effect it had on both Dana and Queen. I mean, our place today is magical, and yes, we probably wouldn't appreciate it if it was perfect from the day we both said I do, but there has to be better ways of getting good and bad days in a marriage. And, you know, we've had bad days, we've had fantastically wonderful ones. So, also, the weird thing is, would I change it? For what I have now with you, to keep that if we had to go through the alcoholism again, I don't think I would, because what we got at the end of it was is so fantastic.
I agree. I'd go through it again too. I don't want to. I hope we never have to, but I would go through it again to get to here.
I think one medically induced coma is enough.
I do too.
Thankfully.
Yep. So, I think the takeaway for today is, don't be afraid of the complexity of living a multi-emotion life. You know, you think about, well, this is a great example, and Mike Philbin, if you're watching, I hope you take this in the spirit in which it's meant. So I never met Maz's dad because he died before we met. Maz speaks of him as if he were practically a saint on earth, and I can tell you that having now met family in Ireland who are only related to Maz's dad by marriage, you were not over speaking because they confirmed everything you said about him. I feel sad that I never met Terry Mary. I never met the man who made you so much of who you are. But Mike Philbin is Jean, Maz's mother's partner. I love Mike Philbin.
Yes, Mike Philbin.
Maz loves
awesome,
Mike.
and you were an awesome grandfather to
2 kids on Jane's
two
side
kids,
and one on my
my
side.
godson and my niece.
You took Quinn and me in. I mean, we're all this funny little family. I wish I could have met Terry, and I love Mike.
Yes, that's again, you know,
You can live with
complex
both.
emotions. You have to live with both of them.
Yeah. I wish my stepdad hadn't died. And kind of incredible things have happened that could not have happened unless he moved to another place.
And we like Bob.
And we like Bob. Bob, we like you very, very much. There's just, you got to get comfortable with that. You have to be okay saying, I'm this and this. It's not this or this. I think life is about figuring out how to be this and this. So that's our lesson for today.
One thing to the suffering alcoholic. Here's a lesson for you. If there's any chance of you heeding this, just from me. It is no fun thinking that you're safe just having a buzz going on. There is something wrong and you know it. I bet you know it. It doesn't, you know, you don't have to be a hero to just say, there is something wrong with me. Just admit it to yourself. There's probably someone around in the room you're in that's still willing to help you if it's not too late.
Yeah.
Before that gets really depressing, that's all I'm going to say today.
Well, and don't forget, if nobody in your personal life is there to help you, Maz Mary is. So reach out to us.
Yeah, take a breath and ask for help. You'll be surprised how many people will help you.
Yeah. All right. Have a great day.
Have
We'll
a
see
good
you
day,
tomorrow.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.